elderly father-in-law humiliated by his daughter-in-law. What she made him eat shocked everyone. That useless old man is eating dog food tonight, and if he complains, he's sleeping on the floor again, Anna said in a sharp voice, dry as cracking glass. The words came out naturally, as if it were routine, no weight, no guilt. Dennis was sitting at the table, scrolling through his phone with his index finger, completely oblivious to what his wife had just said. He let out a short, distracted laugh. "You're crazy," he murmured, without even looking up. It wasn't an answer, more like an automatic reflex, the reaction of someone who hears without listening. Anna didn't explain or justify herself. She didn't need to. Dennis never asked questions. He preferred to believe everything was fine. George, on the other side of the kitchen, sat on a plastic stool, eyes down, shoulders slumped, skin pale. In front of him was an aluminum plate filled with a dark, mushy paste that smelled like wet dog food. A string of drool clung to the edge. He didn't move. His hands trembled slightly on his lap. Anna grabbed an old spoon, shoved it into the plate, and pressed it to his mouth. "Open up, come on," she ordered. George hesitated. The spoon tapped lightly against his teeth, firm enough to leave no doubt about what would happen if he refused. He swallowed in silence, closing his eyes. The taste was unbearable, but worse was her stare, that look that told him if he dared protest, there would be punishment. "That's it. Eat it all up, because tonight there's no mattress for you," Anna said, stepping back with the spoon still dirty in her hand. Dennis remained buried in his phone, as if he were on another planet. George swallowed hard. The bitter taste still climbed up his throat. His stomach churned, but he didn't dare get up. He knew that any wrong move would be taken as defiance. He still remembered the day Dennis suggested he move in with them. "It'll be better this way, Dad. You can't stay alone anymore. Anna already said she'd love to take care of you." George had smiled back then. His heart had even warmed. He'd raised Dennis with everything he had after his wife died. He never expected repayment, but hearing that felt like being welcomed. Anna, with a wide smile, had hugged George and said, "It'll be an honor to have you with us, truly." It was a lie, one of those well-crafted ones with just the right tone, a caring look, even a tear at the corner of the eye. George believed it. He walked into that house with a suitcase in hand and hope in his heart. But hope didn't last. The first few days were fine, but soon came the small restrictions. First, the room. "I think it's better for you to stay in this little room in the back. It's quieter. The noise of the house might disturb your rest," Anna said sweetly. The room was damp, moldy, with no windows. But George didn't complain. He thought it was temporary. Then came the rules. "Better not go out alone. You might get lost. The kitchen is a busy space. It's dangerous. You could slip, get hurt. It's best not to interrupt conversations. Sometimes you say things that don't make sense and it scares people." And so, step by step, Anna built invisible walls around him. Dennis didn't see it. He traveled too much, and when he was home, he was too tired or too absent. Anna knew that. She used his absence as a shield. "Your dad is starting to forget everything, honey," she'd say with a concerned face. "The doctor said it might be the start of dementia." Just today, he asked where Mom was. He cried, "Poor thing." Dennis would sigh, sad, and say, "Wow, that's tough. Please take good care of him." And Anna would reply, "I do my best, honey, even when he treats me badly." Over time, cruelty became routine. George could no longer choose what he ate. Anna decided for him. She served leftovers, cold food, badly seasoned, and if he complained, she threatened him. "You want to eat, or you want to sleep on the floor again? Decide." One night, he tried hiding a slice of bread inside his pillow, afraid he'd get hungry later. Anna found it. She tore the pillow open and threw the pieces in the trash. Now you'll go hungry, you bum." Even when Dennis noticed sadness on his father's face, he always believed Anna's version. "He's acting weird, honey. Honey, he banged his knee on the wall yesterday and then said I pushed him. I swear. He's starting to hallucinate. I think his mind really is going." Meistu, but inside the damp back room, far from Dennis's eyes, George knew the truth. One day, after trying to write a letter to his son and hiding it under the mattress, Anna burst into the room like a storm. She grabbed the paper, read it in silence, then ripped it into tiny pieces and let them fall over his face. "You think you're going to play the victim, make him think you're some poor old man? Listen to me," Anna said in a low, firm, poisonous voice. "If you open your mouth, I'll throw all your junk out in the street, one by one, and I'll say you assaulted Amanda. That's right. That you made a move on her, pushed her in the kitchen. Let's see who he believes. Some stammering old man or his wife. Want to try me?" George didn't answer. His tear-filled eyes shook more than his hands. Anna leaned in, laughing. "Then keep your mouth shut. It's better for everyone, especially you." One day, Anna took Dennis to the bank and came back with a signed power of attorney. "It's just to make things easier, honey. You're always away, and I'm left with all the responsibility. This way, I can take care of everything without bothering you." Trusting blindly, Dennis signed, and Anna gained full control over George's pension. From then on came the extravagances, expensive shopping, new clothes, beauty treatments, dinners with friends. George, he ate leftovers. And sometimes, like that night, dog food with water. "Open your mouth just a bit more," Anna would say, shoving the spoon. "Gonna complain? Want to go to bed without eating again?" George swallowed without speaking. Fear kept him silent. He lowered his eyes and accepted it. He knew the smallest word could be used against him. But someone saw. Amanda, the housemaid, had been there for many years. She knew George, she'd known Dennis for years. Slowly, she began noticing his extreme thinness, sunken eyes, discreet bruises, constant silence. She started to suspect, and when she was sure, she acted. She hid fruit, pieces of bread, left clean water in George's room. She helped him bathe in secret, washed his clothes without Anna knowing. She never confronted Anna. She knew who she was dealing with, but Anna noticed. She always did. One day, she saw a slice of ham missing. That same night, she yelled in the living room. "Money's missing from my purse." Amanda appeared, startled. "I don't know anything about it, Mrs. Anna." Anna pointed her finger dramatically. "Are you calling me a liar? Because either you took it or the old man did." Dennis walked in, confused. "What's going on?" Anna was quick. "Money's missing. Amanda's the only one who had access. And your dad, well, lately he's been confused, but Amanda, I don't trust her anymore." Amanda tried to defend herself. "Mister Dennis, you've known me for years. I would never—" Anna cut her off. "You're fired now. Get out of my house." Dennis, cornered, just nodded. "We should handle this calmly, but for now, it's better if you go." Amanda cried, grabbed her bag. At the door, she looked at George and whispered, "I won't forget you." From then on, Anna felt free, unstoppable. She began waking George in the middle of the night with buckets of cold water. "Get up, vermin, time to clean." She'd scatter raw rice on the living room floor and order, "On your knees, wipe it up with this rag, go faster." George obeyed, dragging his frail body across the cold floor. Anna laughed, filming him with her phone. "Old people learn through pain," she'd say. And as if that weren't enough, she brought in Stephen, a big man with a scowling face and harsh voice. She said he was a professional caregiver. "He needs someone firmer with him. He's out of control," she told Dennis. Stephen was actually a former nightclub bouncer. He came in throwing his weight around. He shoved George by the shoulders. Move it, you useless old man." He'd shout, "Bath time, take off your clothes, cold water to wake you up." And George, frail, obeyed. He trembled, tried not to cry. One night, Stephen made him run around the yard with a sack of rice on his back. "Let's see if this body's good for anything." George stumbled twice. The third time, he fell to his knees. "Get up," Stephen barked. George tried, his legs wouldn't work, then he fainted. His body lay stretched out on the cold ground, arms open, face dirty. Dennis came home from a trip that night. He saw the scene as soon as he walked in. "What happened to my dad?" Anna ran to him. "Honey, thank God you're here. It was horrible. Your dad had an episode, tried to run out into the street." Stephen stopped him. "Imagine if he'd gotten away. He could have been hit by a car." Dennis looked at his unconscious father on the floor. He frowned, but he was exhausted. Too much to argue. "I don't know. This is getting worse," he muttered. Anna was quick. "Honey, you don't see it because you're not here. But I deal with this every day. He's not the same. He needs constant supervision and care." Dennis sighed, tired. "All right. Just call a doctor, please." Anna nodded. "Of course, honey. I'm on it." But the doctor never came. George was dragged to his room, thrown onto the bed without sheets. Stephen locked the door from the outside. Anna went back to the living room, sat next to her husband, and handed him his phone. "Here, relax. You need to rest." Dennis lay on the couch, trying to forget the image of his unconscious father. And once again, Anna won. George no longer expected anyone. Each day was a grey repeat of the last. But that late afternoon, the doorbell rang, and change walked in unannounced. Samantha was back. Anna and Dennis's daughter, raised in boarding schools, she never spent much time at home. By her parents' choice, she studied far away under strict rules, to keep her focused, as they said. She only came home during breaks, when the house felt more like a stopover than a home. Still, she expected to see her grandfather with the same warmth as before. She didn't expect the darkness, or the smell, or the heavy silence that greeted her when she opened the door on that year-end's eve. The house felt different, the air still, forced smiles. Stephen walked past her without looking. Anna appeared right after, planting a dry kiss on her cheek. "Your grandpa's been a little confused lately. Better not encourage him too much, okay?" Samantha frowned, but nodded. She walked slowly toward the back, noticing the old door now locked with an external latch. When she turned the knob and went in, she froze. George was sitting on an old mattress on the floor, covered with a thin, stained blanket. His eyes were sunken, expression empty, hands trembling slightly. "Grandpa?" Samantha's voice was softer than her shock. George lifted his face, trying to force a smile. "My little flower. What a nice surprise." But his voice was muffled, like it was passing through coarse sand. Samantha stepped in slowly. "Why are you in this room? What happened to the other one?" George hesitated, looked at the floor. "It's being renovated, just for a little while." But there was no smell of paint, no tools, only damp stains on the ceiling and a metal plate on the floor with dried scraps stuck to it. In the days that followed, Samantha observed everything. Anna's sharp words, Stephen's authoritarian stance, Dennis's strange silence, always distracted, always on his phone, and George, quieter and quieter. Avoiding conversation, changing the subject, lowering his eyes. One day, she caught him trying to hide a piece of stale bread inside his shirt. "Why are you keeping that, Grandpa?" George forced a smile. "In case I get hungry later, you know." Samantha swallowed hard. Something was wrong, very wrong, and she couldn't pretend not to see anymore. One night she stayed awake on purpose, pretended to sleep but left her door slightly open. She heard heavy footsteps, then whispers. When she peeked through the crack, she saw Stephen gripping George's arm hard. "Swallow it, old man, or tomorrow you'll eat worse." George tried to pull his arm away. "It hurts." Stephen leaned close to his ear. "Complain, and you'll be kneeling on the gravel again. Got it?" Samantha held her breath. Her blood ran cold. The next day, she started recording in secret. Phone hidden among books, among clothes, pointed discreetly. She caught the plate of dog food, Anna's voice laughing. "Tonight he's eating dog food, and no complaining." Stephen's laugh in the background. "I think he's even getting used to it." George, silent, chewed in disgust, tears in his eyes. Samantha almost stormed into the kitchen but held back. She knew she needed proof. In the second video, she captured George kneeling on the gravel in the yard, his knees scraped, while Stephen said, "Old people learn through pain." And Anna, from the porch, sipped tea as if nothing was happening. That night, Samantha created an anonymous account. She posted the first video with a simple caption, "This is my grandfather. Someone help me." Within minutes, comments started pouring in. Outrage, anger, people asking where this was, demanding justice. Influencers shared it. Journalists reached out. The video went viral. Samantha watched it all in silence, lying in bed, trembling inside. Anna saw the posts the next morning. She screamed, slammed Samantha's door open. "Are you insane? What the hell is this online?" Samantha feigned ignorance. "What are you talking about?" Anna showed her the video. These videos, this is a crime, Samantha. You're destroying your family." Samantha looked her straight in the eyes. "Family doesn't do this to their father-in-law." Anna's voice shook. "I'm your mother," Samantha answered coldly. "Then start acting like one." Anna smacked her hand against the wall. "Dennis is going to hear about this right now," and stormed off. Dennis got home from a trip that afternoon exhausted. He dropped his suitcase on the couch and found Anna crying. "Honey, they're making up horrible things. Videos saying I mistreat your dad, that I'm a monster, you know me." Dennis's eyes widened. "Videos? What do you mean?" Anna rushed to him, hugging tightly. "Fake. They're fake. Someone's trying to destroy us." Dennis stepped back. "Who did this?" She hesitated. "Samantha, she's confused. She thought she was helping, but she doesn't understand what's really going on here." Dennis took a deep breath. "I want to see the videos," Anna cried. "No, you're gonna believe fakes, edits, clips out of context. Honey, trust me." Dennis sat on the couch, pressing his temples. He was tired, and Anna knew it, and she took advantage. 2 days later, the police arrived. They'd received hundreds of complaints. They rang the bell. Anna opened with a smile. "Good afternoon. How can we help you?" One of the officers got straight to the point. "We're here over reports of elder abuse against Mr. George." Anna kept her sweet tone. "Of course, come in. He's sleeping." Poor thing's been confused, believing things that never happened. The doctor said it's early dementia. Dennis appeared behind her, confused. "What's going on?" the officer asked. "Have you witnessed anything unusual?" Dennis shook his head. "I'm gone most of the time. I trust my wife." Samantha tried to speak, but Anna was quick. "She's just a girl. She saw a handful of things out of context and overreacted." The officers looked at each other. George, sedated, couldn't say a word. Anna served coffee, smiled, and they left. By a hair, she won again. Samantha locked herself in the bathroom and punched the wall in silence. She had done everything right. Everything. And still, nothing. But it wasn't over. Amanda, the former maid, had seen the videos. She went straight to the police station. She brought photos she'd secretly taken, bruises, plates with scraps, the damp mattress. She brought audio of yelling, of insults. She said, "I cleaned that room. I saw it with my own eyes. If you don't act, he'll die." Her statement reopened the investigation. Meanwhile, Samantha called Stephanie, George's sister. "Auntie, I need you, now. I have it all recorded. My mom, she's destroying Grandpa." She sent the videos, the audio, the photos. Stephanie traveled that night. She arrived unannounced, walked in, saw George sedated, his arm bruised, lips cracked. "Is this a prison or a family home?" she shouted. She called the police, demanded answers. George, seeing his sister, cried, clung to her like a lifeline. "Get me out of here, I'm dying slowly." And this time he spoke. Everything. Name by name, day by day, punishment by punishment. Anna was arrested on the spot. Elder abuse, misappropriation. Stephen tried to run but was caught the next day. The footage was too clear, the evidence undeniable. Anna was sentenced to 25 years. In prison she lost her control, her appearance, her fake smiles. When the inmates learned what she'd done to a defenseless old man, they didn't forgive. She was humiliated, beaten, put in the same place she'd forced on others. The floor. Dennis cried, went to his father, knelt. "Forgive me, I swear. I didn't know." George looked at him in silence, then turned away and said, "You chose not to see." He never spoke to him again. He needed peace, and there was no peace where neglect had lived. Today, George lives with Stephanie in a small house but clean, calm, no yelling, no nights of pain. Amanda came back as his caregiver. Samantha visits often, bringing fresh bread, books, affection. George walks confidently again, speaks firmly again, sleeps without fear. In the last video Samantha posted, he's sitting on the porch in the sun, a mug of hot chocolate in his hands and a plate of homemade food on his lap. She asks from behind the camera, "Is it good, Grandpa?" And he answers, smiling, "Just the way I like it." The caption reads, "Now he chooses what he eats and with whom, and no one tells him otherwise, because hell has passed, but justice has stayed, and this time for good." If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, give it a like, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. See you in the next story.